I guess just to get things rolling, like what's the whole story behind the thing that we're reviewing right now, just to get things up to speed.
Okay, so basically, I went to check my mail and I saw. I wasn't expecting to have like any mail in my mailbox because like I don't like order anything and I don't have any subscriptions. And I see this like package for like some sort of like book thing, and it was wrapped up, and I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And it was for the previous tenant, so I turned that in, and the person it was addressed to or addressed from, I guess I should say, was like kind of weird. And then like a couple days later, I received this in the mail as well, and it's
Was this also addressed to the previous tenant or something
yes,
like
I'm
that?
pretty sure it was also addressed to the previous tenant because it's kind of the same sort of vibe. Um,
It's oh my goodness. What exactly are we getting into?
so here's the first page. Uh, it's kind of goofy.
Okay, so just for everyone listening, this is Discovery News, a publication of significant biblical truth. Yeah, I think the first time I read that, I was like, what does that even mean? A significant biblical truth? Does that mean that there's some truth not in it, or I don't know.
Yeah, there's some truth that really just doesn't matter. They don't care. It only has to be like significant biblical truth. Um, wait, hold on.
Are we headed towards World War III? It has a picture of Putin with looks like a nuclear mushroom cloud on his office or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a really crappy PNG too. It's, and I'm pretty sure they used Comic Sans for "We Are Not Bluffing," which is just a little cherry on top of that. Just absolute
Well, well,
monster of an image.
well, I was gonna say you can also tell just from the whatever they did for like the image editing, like the font is, yeah, like you said, is Comic Sans. The colors that they chose red and yellow of all things, and then just like you know alternated like the shadows of the tone, and I don't know, is it's not very pleasing to the eye.
No, what are you talking about? Red and yellow are the perfect American colors. Think McDonald's, dude. Um,
Yeah.
Also, this image
Yeah.
is like stretched horizontally. I'm pretty sure you could tell that
Yeah,
just by looking at
I
it, but
was
like,
it's stretched a little bit so that way it can fit the full page. Because
dude,
otherwise, yeah, it looks like the aspect ratio is off a little bit.
that just reminds me of like, I don't know if you ever had this problem when you were in school, but like, whenever they would have some sort of image in like history class, they would always just stretch it to fit the PowerPoint slide. And
Oh
that
my
pissed me
goodness,
off so much. I
yeah.
was like, dude, just leave it as is. It's
Not
fine if there's blank space on the slide, dude.
Not only that, I was gonna say not only that, but that reminds me of like not even before PowerPoint, but like back when they had like the little projectors, like the little table projectors that just like it shone a light from underneath and like it reflected on a mirror onto like the whiteboard or something like that. And it was just like the little slides that they give you, yeah, they would do the exact same thing. They would stretch them so that way they would always fit the entire thing because they didn't want any blank spaces in it for some reason.
Dude, I forgot about those and how they would always just have the teacher with like the expo marker having to write backwards on them because the mirror and whatnot. It
Yeah.
was goofy.
Some people got really, I was gonna say, some people got really good at those.
Oh, but yeah, so it's so generous of these people though to provide me with a free copy of just solicited nonsense. But yeah, apparently it's for a local postal customer. I'm assuming the reason it was in my mailbox is because of well, like I mentioned, the package that was also in the mail before that. It was some sort of like really weird Bible thing that was in the mail, and I was like, okay, this was for the previous tenant. Um,
Yeah, it looks like there's a URL for www.discovery.global. I didn't even realize .global was a domain.
Wait, where are you
Um,
seeing this? Oh, it's at the top.
right at the very, yeah, right at the very top, and there's also some very fine print that I can't read, but I'm not sure it's anything significant. It's probably just like references or something on like who wrote the paper or something.
Okay, you have sparked my curiosity. Even if I get a virus from this, it's whatever. I don't care. I really want to know what the. Oh no.
You
No.
looked up. Oh no, you
No.
looked up the domain. Oh my.
Dude, what is this? Okay, so fun fact.
Do
This
I
is
want to?
Discovery
Do I
News.
want to look at this up?
Probably not, but so you know how this is called Discovery News? You know, it's obvious, just super significant biblical truth news and whatnot. Well, their website is Discovery World, a publication of significant archaeological discoveries and biblical truths. And the way that they have it clipped, like the and is just behind the Y. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm just gonna send you a picture of it because it just looks so goofy.
Oh, I looked up the URL myself.
Oh, you
I
did?
see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a bunch of pictures of it looks like dinosaurs and the Earth and stuff like I'm
You
guessing
can
they're
tell
going
graphic
again.
design is their passion, dude. What do you mean?
I'm guessing this was uh, oh wait, hang on. This is actually a link. This actually gives the most recent article. I can just view it from here
Aw,
because if I keep
man.
scrolling down,
So out of
yeah, the drums
curiosity,
of
I clicked on the evolution tab and it just gave me a 404 error. But basically, the caption says bad ideas have bad consequences when I'm hovering over evolution. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't bode well.
where did you see that?
They have it with these like tabs and whatnot. I just clicked on the evolution one because I was curious. But when I hovered
Oh,
over it, yeah,
oh, I
yeah,
see it now.
just bad
Bad
ideas.
ideas have bad consequences.
What
Oh
do you
my.
even mean by that, dude? What does that mean?
Yeah, the biggest one, yeah, it looks like they have one for ancient man, biblical Bible prophecy, biblical discoveries, dinosaur world, history, outer space, geology, evolution, Noah's flood, the wonders of creation, science. I'm surprised they included science. Good news around the world, miracles, videos, just for kids, out of place artifacts, and biblical studies. Now, I was gonna say, just to clarify, I'm not trying to like bash on
Yeah, we're not shitting on
any.
this religion or anything like that. This is just a very goofy, poorly put together newspaper that was just thrown in my mailbox, and it was just kind of goofy looking. That's the whole premise of
I was
this.
gonna I was gonna say, like, there's definitely plenty of like really good Christians out there and have like really good heads on their shoulders. These I don't think are one of those.
Yeah, most likely not. They at least didn't hire any good Christian graphic designers. Or if they did, they need to get their
Or
money back, dude.
so yeah, reading down, the drums of nuclear war are beating louder and louder. Looks like Russian President Vladimir Putin has threatened to use nuclear weapons in their military operation,
Why is
quotes,
that in quotation?
against Ukraine. Because okay, so just a little bit of background. Apparently, like I have heard like from people in Russia, they are not allowed to call it a war. Like so anytime they're referring to like the Russian-Ukrainian war, they're not allowed to call it a war. It's a special military operation. So I know that is something that is a thing. I don't know like to what extent like it's enforced, but I know like it kind of is to the point where it's just like people could arrest you for like spreading propaganda or stuff like that. um
Well, it's a good thing that this article is not starting off with anything political or religiously charged.
uh yeah, good thing.
So it continues with like the chances of the war in Ukraine spiraling out of control are very high, especially since the Russian military has made a poor showing in their effort to defeat the Ukrainians. In fact, Putin is feeling increasing pressure as his forces have experienced defeat after defeat. Okay.
Oh man, I think I found the real cherry on top that shows how credible this place is.
What was
If
that?
you look at the fine print at the top, they're using a Discovery News at AOL.com email address.
Dude, AOL? What do you mean? That's the most reliable email you can have.
All right, enough sidetracking, but yeah, when was this written? This feels like fairly old news because I'm pretty sure wasn't Putin talking about like threatening to use nuclear weapons like at the start of the war?
I mean,
At least for those who would intervene, I guess.
well, the thing about this news thing, I can't find any dates written on it, but like, it just seems like a bunch of recycled kind of like garbage that pastors like throw in their sermons and whatnot. So like they just keep
Uh,
repeating the same stuff.
I was gonna say, can you elaborate on that? I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to.
So like whenever some sort of like political thing goes on, I know at least a lot of pastors I would see would just talk about it in like a very mild way that was just nondescript and whatnot. It's just like making very vague statements about specific events that are happening in the world at the time. Um,
Oh,
Broad
and they would try
generalizations
and
and
like
whatnot.
they would make broad generalizations and like rainbow rouges towards like, I'm guessing just some Bible statements. Actually, if we keep reading, it'll actually do that. Try
Yeah,
not another
it
threat to
almost
world
undoubtedly will.
peace. Yes, the Old Testament prophet Daniel declared that three end time nations will be plucked by the roots, referencing Daniel 7:8. Who are those nations that will be totally destroyed? None of us know for certain, but the Bible tells us one of them is Russia plus an unnamed nation beyond the sea. Wait, what? Are they
Yo,
for real?
pause. Pause,
They're
bro.
claiming that one of these will be Russia. They're referencing Ezekiel 39:6. Okay, I need to pull this up. I need to see what exactly are they pulling here.
Also, you kind of skipped forward a little bit because, according to this, it wraps around. The formatting is absolutely atrocious on this. This article, the first article we were reading, it actually continues onto the second page, and the one you just read was a separate article altogether. They put the same article across two different pages and with a random article in between. And it's not
Oh,
obvious at
see,
all.
like, yeah, I'm reading this like newspaper style where it's just like you do the left column and then the right column,
No,
and
you're
it
supposed to
looks
read it
like the
Bible
left
style, dude.
column. Yeah, okay.
Where
I
you
don't
read a
know what
page and
Bible
then you flip
style
like
means.
two pages and forward in order to get the rest of the story. That's how Bible works, right? Something like that. Oh, I'm
Uh,
assuming you don't
uh, uh,
need pictures of the articles anymore, right? Because you have it pulled up.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
it pulled up here. As long as this is the same paper
I'm assuming it
on
is
this
because the
website.
words were the same. Either that or they just keep recycling material, which in that case it probably is still the same anyway.
Okay, so the Bible verse they were referring to, Ezekiel 39:6, says, "I will send fire on Magog and on those who live in safety in the coastlands, and they will know that I am the Lord." Um, how does Magog translate to Russia, and what do they mean by an unnamed nation beyond the sea being those who live safely in the coastlands? I mean, I
So
mean, I sort of see where they're going with it, but it's almost kind of just like you have to really stretch far.
it's a big stretch. I just looked up the term Magog, and it just said that the origin of the term is not clear. This name indicates either a person or a tribe or a geographical reality. So yeah, no, they are kind of
Oh,
just
so
pulling that one out of their ass.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, because trust me, every single time they're referencing a Bible verse, I am going to follow up on them.
Dude, yeah, keep them in check. They need to know what they're talking about. Anyway, continuing on, just following with it. They're talking. They have a lot of like historical, like actually no, they have a historical fact just thrown in there or whatever. Um, just jumping forward, the president of the United States has warned that we are closer to nuclear Armageddon than we were during the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. Uh, okay, cool. Then there is growing threat of war with North Korea, Iran, and even China. Okay, I love how they just like just kind of chuck that in there as just like a catch-all sort of thing. They didn't even put any details for it. Like the entire focus of this section of the article was about Russia, and then they're just like, oh yeah, also China and North Korea and Iran. Uh, Gotta love
Source?
it.
Trust me, bro.
Just, yeah, source, trust me, bro. So who is bluffing? Or of greater importance, what does the Bible say about end time conflicts and
Russia and
nuclear
then
war?
yeah, which apparently that was the part that I skipped ahead. Sorry for anyone who's listening.
Okay, well, apologies from me as well because I have no idea where the article actually continues. It just says the Bible and nuclear war continued from page one.
Yeah, yeah.
What? What?
I'm
This
assuming you keep.
format is on
I'm
me.
assuming. Yeah, wait. Yeah.
At least
Is
for the
there any
physical
more to
paper,
this?
it looks really weird, but yeah, no, it.
You
I,
might have to keep sending me. You might have to keep sending me pictures because it looks like it actually does just show just the front page. I don't think it shows anything else.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, I gotta. You gotta get the DLC, bro.
Oh man.
Bible not included. Let me just send a pic real quick. So this is the second page. Hopefully it doesn't fall off the table while I'm trying to take a picture, but hopefully it comes out clearly. Okay, I don't think it's too fuzzy. I don't know. But yeah, no, the text font gets really small. I'm assuming because they're trying to fit in as much garbage as possible. I mean, sorry, cutting edge news telling. Um,
Significant biblical truth. That's what they're trying to fit in here.
yeah.
So,
Okay, now hold on a minute.
uh,
Oh, also included in this like newspaper article is a bunch of like comics and whatnot, but not like the funny like Garfield comics or anything like that. It's more or less just I don't know how to put it. You'll see what I'm talking about when I show it to you. But anyway, yeah, just continuing on. This is page two now. Uh,
oh,
Ezekiel
it looks
39:1-6.
that was the verse that I had just looked up and checked them on. I'm not sure what translation that they're using. I'm reading from the NIV. But the one that they have listed says, "Therefore, thou son of man, thou son of man." I'm guessing that's KJV.
Yeah, most likely
Therefore,
King James version.
thou son of man, prophecy against Gog. So I'm guessing
God.
that's a translation. I'm guessing that's a translation on Magog. And say, "Thus says the Lord God: Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, uh, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal." I apologize if my Hebrew is not that great. "And I will send a fire on Magog and among those who dwell insecurely on the coastlands, and they shall know that I am the Lord." Okay, so it looks like they started at verse 1 and then skipped forward to verse 6, which I'm not sure I really. Okay, yeah,
Verses 2 through
that is
5 are
where they
just
did.
completely unimportant. You don't need the context, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't like it when you jump around because like in order to really understand the message of prophecy, you kind of have to have like the whole like book. You can't just like cherry pick one or two verses and be able to figure out what it means.
Quoting
Um,
anything in general, just like imagine taking the first like three words of someone's sentence and then the last like seven words. You're just forming a completely new thought using what they technically said, even though it's not what they meant. So like that just applies to literature, what people like speeches, just everything. The fact that they just 2 through 5 don't matter, bro. You just have to trust them on it. Oh, also, I got a little bit distracted. I looked up It Me Gog because the second I saw that, brain rot took over. I was thinking of cold ones.
okay. Following World War II, Americans were very concerned about the dangers of nuclear war. I mean, yeah, understandably. Uh, People built bomb shelters on their backyards, and people Okay, so yeah, it's just quoting what we did in the 1950s and 60s. Like, I mean, understandably so during World War II. Like, that was the war where, what's it? That was the only war that nuclear weapons were used, and it was on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right?
Huh?
As long as my history serves me correctly.
Sorry, I
That was
spaced
World
out.
War
I was
II, right?
tripping. Yes? Question mark? Were you talking about Hiroshima and
Someone,
Nagasaki or whatever being around World War II era?
yeah, that's what I thought. It was
Yeah.
World War II that happened. Someone correct me if my history is wrong, but at least that's what I think. Uh, so yeah, we Americans have. It's really hard to read this fine print. In the
I,
1950s and
I
60s,
can
air.
take over if you would
Yeah,
like. Okay, so
yeah.
where did you let off on here?
Right under the black and white 1950s photos saying Fallout Shelter. In the 1950s and 60s, air raid
Oh,
and fallout
yeah. Okay, I
shelters.
see where you are. In the 1950s and 60s, air raid and fallout shelters were clearly identified in cities throughout the country. In recent years, however, Americans have felt much more at ease because of the belief that nuclear holocaust could and must never happen. So we Americans have no bomb shelters. Dude, I love their professionalism with this. Um, why did they have that in all bold and like all caps for no bomb shelters? Dude, this sounds like a
Well, didn't they
doomsday
just
prepper wrote this.
Well, I was gonna say, didn't they just contradict themselves in those last two sentences? So in the 1950s and 60s, air raid and fallout shelters were clearly identified in cities throughout the country. I'm assuming they're referring to the USA. So that means there are shelters. And then they go on to the very next sentence and say, "So we Americans have no bomb shelters." So what? Which one is it?
Hey, listen. Those don't exist anymore. Those were 50s and 60s. Anything that was
The
built in the
50s and
50s and
60s,
60s
that
does
we just
not exist
abandoned them
anymore.
and they just don't exist anymore.
Yeah, like the White House has to be rebuilt every year. Otherwise,
Oh
it's not
no.
real. Don't even get me started on like Greek archaeology and like buildings and shit, dude. Those have been built like every year for the past what 5,000 years or something. I don't know, man. This article is just weird. Oh, hold on. We're getting into some history again. We live under the assumption that nuclear conflict is unwinnable, and no one would dare to initiate such an unthinkable war. Mutually. Oh my gosh. Wait. It is supposed to be
Mutually assured
mutually.
destruction.
Isn't it supposed to be
Yeah,
mutually?
um, I think it really
Oh well,
doesn't
yeah, it
matter as
doesn't
much.
really
It's
matter,
a
I
matter of
guess. But yeah,
semantics.
mutual assured destruction (MAD) is the national security policy of the United States, which supposedly guarantees that no nation will ever use nuclear weapons knowing that their own country would also be annihilated. I wouldn't
So
call it really a policy. It's just kind of a
I
natural course of things. Like, people are less likely to nuke each other if they know that they're also going to be nuked. I feel like that's.
I was gonna say I'm not sure I would call that a security policy. That's more like a hey, you try and if you try and like nuke someone else, there's a good chance that you also will probably get nuked. So it's best not to pull out the big guns.
Also, I think we found our first typo. That is not how you spell unwinnable. Unwinnable has two N's. I double checked because I wasn't sure. But yeah, no, they just wrote unwinnable. Very cool. Not saying like it needs to be heavily scrutinized in that regard, but I'm just saying like if this is supposed to be like a newspaper article with nothing but biblical truths, we know that spelling is not a biblical truth, dude.
Spelling is not a biblical truth.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
spelling's
we
not in the
know that
Bible,
for a
therefore it's
fact
not
now.
real, dude. That's how it works. Okay, well, anyway, continuing on, I guess. Meanwhile, Putin has ordered Russian bomb shelter overhauls, and the Moscow Times has reported that the process of repairing bomb shelters all over Russia is underway. Okay, yeah, but like, even if that's true, what exactly is this newspaper hinting at? Is it literally hinting at doomsday prepping? Because that's kind of what it sounds
I
like.
well, I Okay, just hint, hint, considering the fact that this is the second mushroom cloud PNG that I've seen pasted over top of another, like, image, I'm guessing this is probably a doomsday prepper.
Wait, no way. Hold on a sec. That's the
That's
same
the same
mushroom
mushroom
cloud,
that
just stretched.
I told you, it's the, I,
It's
I
the
can
same
recognize the
PNG.
same PNG image.
Dude, I thought it was like a slightly different PNG that they found. Nope, nope, it's the same one. They just stretched it. Oh, actually, no. That's probably what it originally looked like. It was just stretched when they put it on the Putin thing. So they stretched the image after the fact, which I find kind of funny. Anyway, going down. Ooh, you better fact check these guys. According to the Bible, a group of nations that are dominated by Islam today will one day invade Israel. God warned these nations when he said, quote, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, and thou shalt come up against my people of Israel like a cloud cover like a cloud cup oh my goodness, dude, I forgot how to read apparently. Like a cloud to cover the land, and it shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land." Ezekiel 38, verses 4 and 16. Not 4 through 16, 4 and 16.
Okay,
Ezekiel
so
also
yeah,
declared that the Lord would destroy 5 out of the 6 soldiers of these invading armies when they attack Israel. Ezekiel 38, 18, and Ezekiel 39, verse 6. Oh, actually, no, they have a through, so it's from 38:18 to 39:6. Okay, so this time they actually did that, but they didn't actually directly quote it. They just like summarized it.
yeah, so I'm looking here. It looks like it's roughly the same as what they're saying there, but yeah, I will turn you around, put hooks in your jaws, and bring you out with your whole army, your horses and your horsemen fully armed, and with a great horde, and with large and small shields, all of them brandishing their swords. Persia, Cush, and Put will be put with them. Um, all with shields and helmets. Also Gomer with all its troops, and Beth Torgma from the far north with all of its troops and many nations with you. So,
Okay, and the claim that they're making is that a group of nations that are dominated by Islam will invade Israel. Is that what that's saying?
yeah, I'm assuming that's what they're trying to say. Um, so I mean, the book. I was gonna say the very chapter here is prefaced by the Lord's great victory over the nations. Um, But if I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think, see, this is where it would help to have like, a Bible degree or something like that. I'm trying to think of like, did this already happen? Or are they talking about something else? Because I would need to know my Bible history of what happened during ancient Israel.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like if this is prophecy versus history. Because according to this article or whatever, they're saying that it's like prophecy as
Prophecy yet
opposed to history.
prophecy Well, prophecy yet to be fulfilled, as opposed to prophecy that has already been
I
fulfilled.
feel like this is
I guess I would
history
say.
though, right? Because like the fact that they have the details about the swords and shields. I mean, obviously that could be just like metaphor and whatnot, but I
I
feel
mean,
like
we
this
could just sit
happened.
here and we could sit here and Google some of these names, like who was
Or
Torma
why not
and
just look
Beth
up, did
Torma and
Persia
Gomer,
invade
but
Israel? Would that work?
I don't know.
Because
Maybe.
that maybe. A series of kings and queens ruled Israelites, and the country was frequently invaded by Assyrians, Babylonians, and Persians. Okay, so this has happened before. So saying that it's prophecy is a little bit of like a misrepresentation, I think, because it probably is just like something that already happened, history.
I mean, I get, yeah. Again, neither of us have, like, Bible scholar degrees, but just going through here and trying to read through, I'm still trying to understand what they're picking at,
I'm
or if
not
they're just
entirely
looking
sure what they're
for.
going for here.
I'm guessing they're just picking any sort of verse that shows any sort of like doomsday whatsoever, and using that as evidence, I guess.
Wait, I didn't even look at this before, and I didn't even question it. Why is there a bear with bones in its mouth as one of the images? What does that have to do with literally anything on this page? I'm skimming through the
Uh,
rest of this page, and I am not seeing anything that would make this image relevant.
I don't know. It's cute.
Yeah, it's a cute bear. The editor got bored, so he just put an image of a bear. What? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, moving on. Going back towards the top of the page, or the right side now. Like the judgments of Sodom and Gomorrah, God will rain burning hailstones down upon Gog and Magog. Okay, sorry. I keep thinking of It Me Gog from Cold Ones. Do you know what I'm talking about? You probably don't.
Gog.
Yeah, It Me Gog.
No.
Dude, it's so goofy. Yeah, no, they have like a in one of the videos anyway. They have like a gold chain or whatever, and it just says like "It Me Gog." I'm pretty sure it's based off like some image someone drew on a chalkboard or whatever. But yeah, just it's such a goofy. I don't know. It brain rot, dude. Brain rot. That's probably what it is. Anyway, upon Gog of Magog and what appears to be a large coalition of armed forces from Persia, Libya, Central Africa, and Turkey, regions dominated by Islam, I will rain down on him, Gog of Magog, on his troops, and on the many peoples who are with him, flooding, rain, great hailstones, fire, and brimstone. Ezekiel 38:22.
They seem to really like the chapter of Ezekiel 38 and 39, where it's just talking about a lot of just doomsday stuff.
Wait, they even acknowledged that it was a past historical event, and then they went on to say that it's a prophecy again. Is that not
Wait,
what it's
where
saying?
did the.
But okay, so basically, just rereading, like the judgments of Sodom and Gomorrah, yada yada. What appears to be a large coalition. Wait, hold on. Is this just a run-on sentence? Am I reading this wrong? What is going on here? Yeah, it says
God will
God
bring.
will
Yeah.
rain burning hailstones down upon Gog of Magog, and what appears to be a
And
large
would appear to be
coalition
a large
of
coalition.
armed forces from Persia, Libya, Central Africa, and Turkey, regions dominated currently by Islam. Yeah, no, that sounds like a future tense sort of thing, does it not? I mean, I could be reading that totally wrong, but is that not what that sounds like?
Mm, yeah. Well,
Because they already discussed that Gog of Magog is supposed to be Russia, according to them, and then they're listing off like modern sort of like countries and whatnot. Also, I love how they just say Central Africa. They don't specify, but yeah, is that not what they're saying there?
well, like I said, when I went up and looked at my translation, the nations that they had listed were Persia, Cush, Put, and Gomer, and Beth Torma. So I'm guessing somewhere they translated Cush as being Libya, Put being Central Africa, and
Yeah.
Gomer as being Turkey, I guess.
No, 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 no. You see, put is supposed to be Putin, Russia. Get it? Because that's what grasping
Okay, I
at
don't think
straws,
it's
just like
that.
they're doing.
It's
But whatever.
it's not that corny.
I don't know. It is kind of goofy. Anyway, yeah, no. It just seems like they're using a historical event, like a passage of the Bible talking about a historical event, to describe a current situation that they're saying is going to happen. Like they're saying that basically what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah is going to happen again in Russia by means of Persia, Libya, Central Africa, and Turkey, or whatever. That's what it sounds
Okay,
like they're saying, which sounds weird.
here they're actually going forward and they're actually trying to clarify. Magog is recognized by most biblical scholars as the lands north of the Black Sea and Caucasus, or am I reading that
Caucasus
correctly?
Mountains. It's like where you get the word Caucasian
Caucasus
or whatever.
Mountains. and appear to be referring to lands occupied by Georgia, Amnesia, and of course Russia. What biblical
It said
scholars
Armenia.
are they referencing? Armenia. Yeah, sorry, my
Armenia,
mouse was over it.
Azerbaijan, and yeah, whatever, Russia. But yeah, also I love how you corrected them when you were reading it out. Biblical scholars is what it should say, but it just says Bible scholars, which just sounds goofy in my opinion. But yeah, it's still technically correct, I guess. Anyway, you were saying?
No, yeah, I thought we just look up and see that it doesn't refer to Russia. So, like, if most biblical scholars are claiming to be north of the Black Sea, like, let me see here in Google. Where's the Black Sea? Let's see. So that appears to be, at least on Google Maps, it's still loading. So that's the sea north of Turkey. That's what it looks like. Which is currently north of that is Ukraine. So
Hmm. This is weird. Uh, Wait, hold on.
I'm not good at geography, so I had to Google it. I'm not very smart. I will admit that right now.
Just trying to see, like, I'm just like doing a little bit of research on my end as well. Dude, I
I mean, it
cannot
could also.
find it.
Do you know where Romania is?
Oh wait, are you talking about like? I was just looking up if scholars actually agree that it is like Russia or something, which I'm not finding anything that confirms or denies it. I mean, sure, it may be like in that area if they even believe it's a geographical location, but some people believe it's a person, so not even a place at all. So the fact that they're claiming that everyone just agrees that this is it just seems a bit, I don't know, arrogant.
Okay, so at least from what I could look up, it looks like Magog is recognized as the second of seven sons of Japheth, mentioned in the Table of Nations in Genesis 10. The origin of the term is not clear. This name indicates either a person, tribe, or geographical reality, country, or city. So yeah, that's similar to what you said.
Oh wait, no, I
The
found Magog.
origin of the name.
Dude, I literally found
Yeah.
Magog. It's in Canada.
Wait, where are you getting Canada?
I just looked up Magog map and it just said Quebec, Canada.
Oh
Okay,
no.
guys, it is a real place. We were wrong.
It is a real place, except for it's in Canada.
Boy, do I feel stupid now. Okay, my bad. Let me try that again. Okay, sorry to interrupt. I'll keep looking stuff up, but you were saying?
No, I think that's as much as we can fit onto this page. We should probably move on to the next one before we just sit here and spend all night on it. On
Honestly,
the first two pages.
fair, yeah. Um, okay, I just did a little quick Google search. While I'm taking a picture of that, I'll review what the little Google search is saying. But, oh, if you wanted to read the rest of the page, though, while I'm doing that, just
Yeah,
whatever you
so
feel like
Jesus,
reading.
yeah, so Jesus declared, men's hearts falling them for, it's hard to read on such a small screen. Men's hearts failing them with fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Luke 21:26. Um, okay, in reference to what though? It looks like they only included like the first half of that verse, or the second half of that verse.
Dude, there's a place
On
called No
May,
Gaze. It's kind of weird. Sorry, I was
yeah,
looking at the map
no,
again.
On May 3rd of 2017, FBI Director James Comey gave this testimony before the U.S. Senate hearing. Russia is the greatest threat of any nation on Earth. On the same day, a number of new agencies reported that Russia is quietly planting mole nuclear weapons deep into the oceans off the coasts of the United States, weapons that could create super tsunamis that could destroy American coastal cities and harbors.
I like how they
Um,
had to specify American coastal cities and harbors, not just in general. It's just gonna fuck shit up. But okay.
well, and like, I I'm not really sure where the benefit of that is. I mean, you and I were both like in the military. Like, we both know we have nuclear submarines that are out there in the ocean of only God knows where. So that's a lot more effective of like, being able to cause like some actual damage as opposed to trying to, I don't know, set off a tsunami or something like that.
I didn't even register this until now, but they're really gonna be quoting the FBI director from 2017. That was 7 years ago, dude. Could they not find
Oh my
anything more
goodness,
recent to, like, add any sort of credibility to their thing? Anyway,
you're making me feel so old. That was 7 years ago.
yeah, I know it was a bit of a shocker when I said that out loud. It feels like it was 3 years ago. Whatever. Revelation
Yeah,
chapter
but I mean,
18 and
like,
Isaiah chapter 13 describe a future Holocaust which sounds exactly like nuclear war. Okay, sure it does. Um,
yeah, but like, wouldn't I was gonna say if you okay, thinking about this, like, from a military perspective, if I wanted to cause as much damage as I possibly could to the United States and I was Russia, wouldn't it be a lot smarter to use just like, Trident ballistic missiles or ballistic nuclear missiles as opposed to just like, planting a bunch of bombs in the middle of the sea where, I don't know, you're probably just going to maybe kill a lot of wildlife and maybe cause a tsunami on, I guess, maybe 4 or 5 coastal cities?
yeah, they would only be able to do it on the western side too. They wouldn't be able to do that on the eastern side because they'd have to go through Europe in order to do that. So strategically, it makes no sense for them to do that because if they actually wanted to wipe off the most important, I'm not saying that western coastal cities are not important. I'm just saying DC and all that other stuff. I'm pretty sure they would be affected more by coastal sort of thing, and it would be
No,
strategically more advantageous if they were to attack that instead. So I don't know why they just assume that that's what they're doing.
no, no. I mean, they Russia definitely has submarines in the Atlantic Ocean. It's not like they just don't exist.
Yeah, but
But the picture,
planting
but the pic,
moles there?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you sit there, you look at the picture of the tsunami that they're showing, and it's like showing waves that are like taller than it looks like 70-story skyscrapers and stuff like that. And if you've actually seen a real tsunami, they do not get that ridiculously big. They get maybe 4 stories high. I mean, still really big waves, but it's nothing near as blown out of proportion as this Hollywood image.
It looks like the tallest recorded tsunami was 1,700 foot, which is how many stories? It's divided by.
1700.
Is it divided by 6 or 12? What is it?
I think it might be divided by 6. I'm not sure. How tall is it? Google Box. How tall is the story?
Oh, it's 10. Okay, so you just divide that by 10. So yeah, it would be 170 feet. Yeah, dude. Oh, wait, no, 170. Wait, 170 stories? Bruh.
170 stories or 170 feet?
170 stories. Because it was 1,700 feet. But yeah, no, that was the tallest ever recorded tsunami, by the way. And who knows how large the tsunami would be if they were to use a nuclear weapon like they're proposing here. Also, I love how they're all like, the sea has come upon Babylon. She is covered with the multitude of its waves. Jeremiah 51, 42. Dude, I'm pretty sure Babylon is not in America. I'm sorry, but just the way that they posed that is just so goofy to look at. But anyway, yeah, no, I don't think that's how big a tsunami would be there. Maybe not. I'm no tsunami expert. I'm kind of just okay. We can move on to page 3 now. Got a little hung up on that weird tsunami in 2017 quote.
Who is the end time nation
Oh,
facing destruction along with Magog? Revelation chapter 18. Again, they keep using this same mushroom cloud PNG.
oh, hold on.
It's
They used the
really
second one this
starting to
time.
bother me now.
They used the second one this time too, and it
Huh?
looks slightly different. The one in the background behind the buildings that are weird looking. It's like obviously stretched, but I
Yep.
think it's a different one. Oh, I did look it
We'll
up
give them
though.
the benefit
It
of the doubt and say
says
this.
when tsunamis strike land, they are most tsunamis are less than 10 feet high, but in extreme cases can exceed 100 feet when they strike near their source. So yeah, I don't think a tsunami
That
would be that
in
tall then.
extreme in extreme. Okay, so it says in extreme cases 100 feet.
Yeah, that would have to be like
So
a
that is at
super extreme case for it to be that tall then.
yeah,
Anyway,
and the
glad we
one that
cleared
you
that
were
up.
referencing, I was gonna say the one that you were referencing, the 1,700 foot tsunami, that was off of the coast of Alaska, and that was caused by it looks like I can't tell which um,
It was also the tallest like
factor
ever
of an
recorded
earthquake it
too, so
was.
it's yeah. Assuming
Yeah,
that that's the normal is just super incorrect. That's not normal. It's normal if you're like in Hollywood or something like that, but no,
it is normal if you're in Hollywood.
Dude, did you know that the world was actually supposed to end in 2012? Dude, I wonder if they have any articles about that. I don't know if this magazine's that old, but anyway, yeah. The little box that they have at the top of the page, I'm going to read that off real quick. At the same time that the Islamic armies are destroyed at the border of Israel, the homeland of Magog that God identifies as north of Jerusalem, in the regions of the Caucasus Mountains, including modern day Turkey and Russia, Ezekiel 38:15. Okay, so they're paraphrasing for that. I don't know if that's even remotely accurate. Will also come under the severe judgment of God. According to Ezekiel 39:6, God will send fire upon Magog, the homeland of Gog. No, I'm thinking about it in Gog again. Anyway, whatever. And upon another unnamed end time nation. No one knows when such a terrible holocaust will occur, but we would be foolish to ignore God's warnings. Okay.
I
Uh,
mean, we're already foolish for ignoring the entire Word of God, but let's semantics.
yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. You can ignore the word of God as long as you're paying attention to the signs and being a doomsday prepper and shit. That makes you a Christian, by the way. That's how that works.
No, no, no.
If you're not a doomsday prepper, are you even a Christian? Dude, I just received a text message. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna read this off real quick. This is a total tangent. From Trump. All hell just broke loose. I was convicted in a rigged trial. Why is Trump sending me a text message? Dude, fuck off.
It's based off of a recent news article. I saw it pop up on my Google News. I just ignored it, but
Sounds about right. Anyway, moving on to this other lovely image with a stock photo of an open Bible. Wait, what page are they open to? Let me see if I can. No, you can't tell.
no, you can't tell. I'm guessing Psalms because it's in dead center of the Bible.
Sounds about right. Anyway, it says there is a mysterious end time nation that is described in the Bible as Babylon and the daughter of Babylon. Okay,
I'm assuming they're
interesting.
referencing to I'm assuming they're referencing Revelation.
Dude, I absolutely love Comic Sans. It is so professional for a newspaper. Really brings out the character, you
Babylon,
know?
the Babylon, drug capital of the world.
Oh, yeah, that image. Dude, I love the stock images they're doing here. It is so good. Also, why are they putting drug capital of the world and then they have pictures of Are those supposed to be like viruses or whatever?
Yeah, they look like coronaviruses.
What does that have to do with drug use? I mean, if you're gonna make a claim about people using drugs a ton, why would you show a virus? What does that have to do with drugs?
Medical drugs, like, to keep people alive and healthy.
Oh, you take insulin? Addict.
Yeah, exactly.
You take an EpiPen when you're having an attack? Addict. I'm sorry, but that's just what that looks like. That looks so fucking dumb. Anyway,
You know what? No, you know what? I know it. You know what? I bet they're probably trying to reference. I bet you it's probably being like an anti-vax kind of message.
oh,
That's what is
fuck.
most likely.
Please tell me that's
That's what it's most likely. Yeah.
I'm just going to read right underneath what that image is. Revelation 18:23b tell us, quote, for by her sorceries, and then they give the Greek word for pharmacies for some reason, were all nations deceived. Wait, huh? The Greek word pharmakeia is the root word from which we get our English word pharmacy. It can be translated as both drugs and poison. Without doubt, our pharmaceuticals have impacted the entire world. What a non statement. Yeah, no shit, medicine does stuff to the world. What do you
Yeah.
mean? Also,
Medicine and science and vaccinations are a good thing.
no, they're not. They're not Christian. The Bible says that all drugs, including medical and, health stuff, all of it's bad. Doesn't matter what it is. Penicillin?
Modern
Icky.
modern medicine is not allowed.
It's so true, so true. Just spit on your kids and, like, rub them in dirt. They'll have a fine immune system. Anyway, moving back to the left side, it looks like they're just using a ton of quotations. First paragraph from Jeremy, second from Revelation. It says, no one knows for sure who this end time Babylon is. Okay, this is the third or fourth time they've mentioned this on the same page. By the way, but God's warning to those that dwell safely in the coastlands, Jeremiah 39:6.
I was gonna say Jeremiah, not Jeremy.
Jeremy 39:6. Hey, Jeremy. I just immediately thought of Jerma for some reason. Should certainly get our attention, especially due to the fact that coastlands is described as beyond the sea, Jeremiah 25:22, and afar off, Isaiah 66:19. Most Bible scholars, I hate that phrase, sorry, insist that the United States is not found anywhere in the Bible. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. I'm glad that you called America Babylon unintentionally the first time. It is true that America and United States cannot be found anywhere in the pages of Scripture. However, oh no, no. Are they really about to do what I think they're about to do? They're about to say that
Yeah,
America. Okay. They literally just said
um,
most biblical scholars say that America appears nowhere in the Bible. But we disagree with the experts, even though we used their credibility on the previous page. Very good.
I mean that's pretty much exactly what it is. Yeah,
I
because it
love
looks
that.
like they describe the word Babylon and daughter Babylon as a nation born
Born
from
from the
a motherland
motherland.
composed of a mixed multitude, a literal Yeah, I was gonna say I guess I
A
should be
literal
exaggerating these what's it, all
Don't worry,
caps words.
I'll say the all caps with you while you're reading. That way we know.
A literal melting pot of all nationalities, Babylon is described as the
Most
most
wealthy.
wealthy of all nations, the world center of manufacturing, commerce, and agricultural production. Okay, hang on. I'm just gonna put a pin in that. If you're going to go for most wealthy, wouldn't that be China? Because like they're the manufacturing place of the entire world. Like everything you look at, it's made in China. So if you want to look at the most wealthy, wouldn't that be like the most sense? I mean, if they actually sat there and recouped all of the debt from the United States and made the yen worth what it's actually worth.
Just looking something up real quick. Wrong again. It's Luxembourg.
Luxembourg is the wealthiest nation on Earth.
Apparently. I just looked up most wealthy country in the world, and it says as of 2024, it's Luxembourg. Uh,
Oh,
okay, interesting.
oh, so okay, that's crazy.
Richest
Not
country in
even
the world.
Luxembourg is richer than China.
Uh, apparently. Oh, okay, hold on. We got live feed. Race to be world's richest country territory. Let's see. Qatar, Macau, SAR, Luxembourg. Oh, Singapore just jumped up. I don't know if this is supposed to be real time or just like a simulation of. Oh, no, it's just a simulation. I'm stupid. I was going to say, I hope it's not changing that fast. Yeah, no, the United States is kind of midway on the top, what is that, 15 or something? Something like that. Anyway,
What
yeah,
if
no,
what
Luxembourg is
what
definitely in the lead.
what if like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon like all just collectively decided, hey, let's go create our own nation? Would that make it the richest?
Honestly, probably, yeah. Anyway, it looked like it was Luxembourg, Ireland, Singapore. So yeah, no, United States is not even in the top three. So for them to make these claims is a
Ireland
little bit silly, in my opinion. Yeah, Ireland. I was,
Ireland is richer than us. Wow.
yeah, I was kind of shocked by that. But this is based on GDP, so take that with a grain of salt. But obviously,
I was
yeah,
gonna say nothing against Ireland. I'm sure it's a pretty lovely place to live, at least from the people that I know there.
yeah. Wait, where were we on this? Oh, this end time
Well, we
society will
were
also be a
going
great
off of the most wealthy of
consumer
all
and
nations, the world's
seller.
center of manufacturing, commerce, and agricultural production.
Yeah, okay.
This end time society will also have great consumer
Consumer
and seller
seller.
of the world's products, with merchant ships filling many harbors. That's why I'm saying China. I mean, if you're gonna sit there and draw lines, China sounds like what you're trying to describe.
Yeah, like if they're gonna be using this argument, they could just like go to any country with a higher GDP than the U.S. and argue for them instead, because then it would make a little more sense. They're kind of just like they're really grasping at straws here, and they disagree with most Bible scholars apparently. Bible scholars, not biblical scholars, which is how it's normally phrased. But yeah, this is dumb. um,
Babylon, a land of great immorality, violence, and human trafficking. It's just the next thing on the side.
Hold on.
And it's showing a bunch of, like, it looks like protesters for pro choice.
Let's see. One out of
What
every
else
three
is
girls will be
posted on
sexually
there?
assaulted by the age of 18. One out of seven children are abused. How many do you know you can't afford to ignore? Okay. The rumors and threats of war and terrorism will cause multitudes to flee from her cities and seek shelter in their own homelands. Jeremiah 50:16 and chapter 51, verse 46. The once glory of kingdoms will come under the chastening hand of the Lord and become like Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, so they're basically claiming that the United States is the new Sodom and Gomorrah and that God is going to strike down upon us. Um,
Is
except
Where are you
actually
getting
the
that from?
judgment. Well, actually, no, hold on. It says that the judgments of Sodom and Gomorrah will actually rain down upon Russia, even though
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Babylon is the issue. Wait, they're saying Babylon's
Uh,
the issue on page 3, but why are they talking about Russia then?
I was gonna say, if we're gonna sit there and pick this apart, let's at least try and do it with, like, some accuracy.
Okay, so I'm just quoting page 2, though. They say that just like the judgments of Sodom and Gomorrah, Gog will be smitten. And then they're saying here, okay, yeah, they're saying that Babylon is also like Sodom and Gomorrah. Because I doubt they're claiming that people are fleeing to Russia. I really doubt that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, so it looks like the verses they're referencing, cut off Babylon from the sower and the reaper with his sickle at harvest because of the sword of the oppressor. Let everyone return to their own people. Let everyone flee to their own land. That was Jeremiah 50, 16. sure 5146 says something similar. Probably something Doomsday-y.
Wait, is it supposed to say that Babylon's supposed to come like Sodom and Gomorrah, or is it saying something else? Because I'm assuming this is saying that they're
Um,
fleeing from Babylon. Is that not what it's saying?
it was just no, it was just saying that Babylon would be cut down and that all of people of Babylon would flee back to their original lands, I'm assuming.
Oh, that's kind of fucked up and weird, but alright.
Do not lose heart or be afraid when rumors are heard in the land. One rumor comes this year, another in the next. Rumors of violence in the land and of the ruler against ruler. That was Jeremiah 51:46. So now they're saying, don't worry.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. They were just overreacting. They just freaked out for a second. It's cool.
Fake news.
Yeah, pretty much. Hold on. Babylon and her people who
That's
were once
the
recognized as the Lady of Kingdoms. Okay, so the Lady of Kingdoms is referring to Babylon. Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Statue of Liberty.
Lady of Kingdoms, Statue of Liberty, same thing. She will also become arrogant in her attitude towards the Lord of Heavens. She will give herself to drugs, occult practices, and great immorality. Perversion
Yeah, that
will
sounds
become
like
her
Statue
accepted
of
lifestyle.
That sounds like a Statue of Liberty, right?
Yeah, obviously.
That's the end of that page. I need the next one.
Yeah. Some people say that the harbor's end time tell us future rebuilt Babylon in desert. However, okay, whatever. Page 4. Oh, Lord. Oh,
How many more
I'm not
pages do we have to go of
ready for
this?
this. Um, this is the last, like, actual page. The rest of it's, like, comic stuff, which should go by pretty quickly. But, yeah, this is the last, like, article-based page. And it's a bit of a doozy.
How could it get any worse?
I mean,
I mean,
I don't know
I
if it's
say that
worse.
now.
I'm just saying based on... It just looks so fucking goofy. What is this? Is there any hope?
Is there any hope?
No.
The answer to that question is absolutely yes.
Yeah?
Despite
Okay,
all,
I feel good
despite
now.
all, despite all the sorrows in this world and the threats of war, famines, and devastating diseases and death, there is hope. But that hope is not found in possessions, health, scientists, or even political leaders who think they have all the answers. Real hope is found in a person, capital, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who created the world and died on the cross to pay the penalty for all our sins. Despite anything we have done, he wants to forgive us and give us eternal life and a real hope for now and the future. I mean, okay. Yeah, there is a little bit of truth to that. But at the same time, I guess they just finally decide, okay, now it's time to spin it around and give it the old Sunday school Jesus message.
Yeah, and I am a little conflicted about what they're saying about hope is not found in scientists, but on their page they're trying to proclaim that they are scientifically based.
No, no, no. The hope is
Did they
not
not
found
say
in
that?
possessions, health. No, no, I don't think they ever said that.
I
I
sure hope
think they
not.
seem very. No, I don't think. I think they're at least consistent in that. They're consistently anti-science. That's what it seems like.
Let's see.
I will give them credit for that.
Oh yeah, no, you're right, you're right, you're right. I misread what it was on there, like because I saw a picture of a T Rex. I thought they were trying to. Oh, that's why. A publication of significant archaeological discovery. Sorry, I thought that they liked science. Might be. I forgot that when I hovered over evolution, it said bad ideas have bad consequences. In outer space, it said Big Bang. Dot dot dot. Big lie. The sun is slowly
Yep.
shrinking. Lessons from the moon. Okay, yeah, whatever. I'm done looking at their page. Also, I love how they put the this scroll here, and then the text doesn't even fit on the scroll. It goes not on the scroll.
Oh yeah, yeah. They have a picture of a scroll, but yeah, the text kind of like sits on top of like the little sides.
I'm gonna read through it real quick, just real fast. But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them who are asleep, that you sorrow not, even as others who have no hope. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also who sleep in Jesus will God bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we who are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not precede them who are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from the heaven with a shout and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we who are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so we shall ever be with the Lord. Wherefore, comfort one another with these words. Sorry, it was all caps. First Thessalonians. So that's not how you pronounce that. First Thessalonians, chapter 4, verses 13 through 18. Oh my gosh, that was a lot to read through. My brain is just fried after
Yeah.
reading that. That's just
Uh,
big quote right there, just to take up space on the page.
yeah, so I was gonna say that is one of Paul's messages, and I'm pretty sure like whenever they're referring to it is funny because we actually did do a recent Sunday school study on some of the letters of Paul's writing. And one of the things that came up is whenever he uses the word like those who are asleep, apparently that's referring to people who have died, like physical death. And I think part of the reason why he chose that word is because he didn't want the early church to fear of like using the word died as in like spiritual death. So I guess that was like some kind of like distinction they were trying to make. But yeah, side tangent over. Sorry for going on that.
Oh, no worries. That was a relevant, fun fact. Uh, Jesus is coming again. What does that mean? The rapture. The horrific events presented in the scriptures and this edition of Discovery News. Oh, okay. So, by the way, scriptures, Discovery News, they're on the same level. That's just fact, all right? May not occur until the time that the Bible calls the tribulation. Okay, interesting.
So yeah, we've known about like I've heard messages preached on like the trials and the tribulation period and the rapture and stuff like that, and at least from the pastor who explained it to me, there are three schools of thought at least that go around towards that. Um, that's like that there is going to be that there's going to be like no trials and tribulation period. That the trials and tribulation period have already happened or like have yet to happen. um I forget which one he actually aligned to, but I think that was just like one of the things that he was like, hey, just for your information, it's good to know that just so that way you can think for these certain things.
Yeah, I think in general thinking is good. A bit more thinking could have probably gone into this article, but um, the wrath of man and the wrath of God will be poured out upon this world during those 7 years of unbelievable Holocaust. If the rapture were to occur today, these events could occur at any moment. So it is important to be ready by placing your faith in the Lord Jesus Christ today. Dot dot dot.
So so I'm pretty sure this is just the Sunday school page
Yeah, this
message
is.
is what it seems like.
I just love the image where it's like this dude who's just looking at the pair of clothes on the bench and he's like, "Don't get left behind," and he's like, "What happened?" I just
Oh
love that
yeah, I'm
image. It's
guessing
so
it's
cheesy.
it's yeah, assuming like the rapture happening, I'm guessing.
Also, here's a lovely little bit of fear mongering here. Are you ready? One thing is certain. Dot dot dot. No one wants to be left behind to endure the terrible days of wrath coming upon the earth. No one wants to
Well,
be left behind. You wouldn't want to deal with that.
some people don't even believe the rapture will even happen. Um, at least am I correct on assuming that? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah. There
actually like a
are
debated
schools of
thing
thought
whether
in
the
that
rapture
regard.
actually is a thing or not.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed what you said.
Oh yeah, no. I was just saying there are schools of thought about that. Like there are some people who don't even believe in the validity of revelations or whatever. Uh, just different schools of thought on that. So when it comes to like rapture, that would be included with that sort of idea. The word rapture refers to the sudden removal or born again believers when they will be caught up from earth. Rapture is often referred to as the blessed hope. Jesus promised his disciples that he was going away to prepare a place for them and that he would one day return for them. John 14, chapter 14, verses 1 through 3. Scripture is crystal clear in that no man knows the day nor the hour of Jesus' return, but that we are to watch and be ready, because Jesus will come unexpectedly as a thief in the night when the dead in Christ and the living believers will suddenly be caught up to meet the Lord in the air. 1 Thessalonians 4:17. Coming of Christ to rescue his bride from planet Earth could occur at any moment. Okay, so basically that just summarizes the whole purpose of this article is to instill, okay, this is a poor wording for it, but sort of paranoia about this sort of thing. Basically
This is
looking in every corner for what could potentially be rapture.
this no, what I'm getting from the whole thing is this sounds like the fire and brimstone kind of like, preaching message.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely seem to be leaning into the doomsday prepping, at least on page 2 with the we have no bomb shelters. We need them. You don't need bomb shelters. You have Jesus. He's your bomb shelter, dude. That's how that works, right?
Yeah, and at least from what I understand, it also seems like they're going under the school of thought where the rapture will happen before the trials and tribulation, so that way Christians won't have to endure that kind of process, but there are also other ones where the rapture could happen after the trials and tribulation.
Yep. I'm pretty sure they're really hoping for the prior, not the latter.
Yeah, it honestly depends. No one really knows for sure, but again, I am not a Bible scholar. Anyone who out here who is possibly listening to this, like, please, like, understand. I do not know what I am talking about. This is just like, for funsies.
Yeah, we're just looking at this because it just looked so goofy and cheesy. Um, anyway, all that's left is just like this. It's supposed to be like the comics that they have in newspapers and whatnot, but it's just I don't know, poorly done. I don't know
Let's
how
see.
else to put it, but yeah. Let me just
Yeah,
show you the
let's
page.
see. I was gonna say let's see what this is.
It is
If
just
anyone happens, I was gonna say if anyone out there listening to this happens to come across anything we hear that like sounds incorrect, like please fact check us on this, and don't be afraid to follow up.
yeah. We'd rather not be a bit too goofy on this. I want to be at least accurate. Okay, there's the first page. I'm just going to send all the pages at once and we'll just take a peek at them. If something sparks your interest, feel free to shout out. Um, but yeah, so
Oh
those are the
yes.
first pages. It's this sort of thing. So I'm assuming it's
Yeah.
supposed to be like what's supposed to replace Garfield
I'm guessing.
or
Oh
Calvin
man,
Harris. I can't think of any other comics.
they made Adam and Eve white.
What are you saying? I always find it so goofy when they do dumb shit like that, bruh. No, Jesus was white too. Everyone knows that. A Middle Eastern man born to Middle Eastern parents was white.
No,
Fact,
no.
obviously. Okay, let's take a peek at this. I was just taking pictures. Let me see what it actually says. Okay, let's see. Uh, First block was kind of weird. I just want to read the top one. If God is good, why is the world so bad? What kind of God would make such a terrible world? I love how they didn't actually have start quotation marks on there. They just have the end ones.
Oh, oh, they didn't have a start quotation, but they had an end quotation.
Wait, is this whole article saying this? No, I'm just kidding. The world that we live in is filled with war, violent storms, suffering, sorrow, and death, but it didn't start out that way. and then they're showing the
You
editing
didn't
story.
exaggerate that. That was all in caps.
Yeah.
You didn't exaggerate that one like
Oh
you
yeah,
should
no, no,
have.
no, I should have. But it didn't start out that way. I feel like that's the tone they were going for there. Also, I love the image that they have accompanying that. The tornado that they
Yeah, and then it
have
looks
is clipped above the city where it's supposed to be striking, by the way. Figured I'd point that out.
at least whoever did the artwork for the comic strip did a better job than whoever was the image editor for the photos.
Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely decent artwork. It's like not visually gross to look at. I'm just trying to see like if there's anything interesting to point out, or if this is just basically like Sunday school sort of comics or whatever.
This feels like a basic Sunday school synopsis of Genesis story of Adam and Eve. It looks like.
Well, let me look at the second page. I really don't like how the text looks at the bottom right corner of the first page, but whatever. That's just like a super nitpick. That's not even really relevant information.
Yeah, and then it seems like it goes on. Um,
Yeah, just like the basic story
it,
of how
it
it all happened and whatnot. They did definitely skipped a whole lot after Adam and Eve and stuff.
I
Oh,
was gonna say they went from Adam and Eve, and the entire Old Testament was summarized in one single pane,
oh yeah, that's
which
right.
was the
Yeah.
entire Old Testament was, yeah, for hundreds of years of continual sacrifices and innocent lambs showed the terrible consequences of sin and death. But the sacrifices of mere animals could never remove the penalty of sin. It would take a greater sacrifice who would be called the Lamb of God. Yeah, so they basically just summarized the entire rest of the Old Testament in one single pane. And then it looks like the next one they fast forward to Mary.
Oh, don't worry. They have. Let's just count. One, two. Okay, so like 2.5 pages of New Testament, and then like a page, and then a footnote for Old Testament. Very cool. I don't know. I feel like the spacing is a little weird on that. Nothing too like noticeable other than that, I guess. I mean, the nativity scene obviously being just super historically accurate, based on text and whatnot. You know, a bunch of white dudes just gathering around a little baby wrapped in a mummy teepee. What is that? Uh,
It's supposed to be it's supposed to be a feeding trough, but it just looks like a miniature crib. Like I don't
yeah.
know.
Oh, I was just talking about what the baby's wrapped in. It's like
Oh yeah, it's
mummy
just mummy
toilet paper or
TP.
whatever. Yeah, no, I don't think people normally wrap their babies like that. I don't know. Maybe it's historically accurate.
I
Okay.
mean, at least the comic isn't terrible. I mean, then sits there and goes through. Uh, I guess the one thing that I don't. Yeah. Okay. So okay, they did actually start with Jesus' ministry. He showed love and compassion for his people, so they at least didn't skip over that part. Then it goes on to obviously the cross and the resurrection on the next page.
I just realized something. Hold on. So if this is just like a basic summary of basically the entire Bible, um, do they do this on every one of their papers, or is this the only paper that they've ever done? Because I'm just saying, like, if they have this at the end of every single one of their newspapers, kind of takes out the meaning, you know? It seems like it would mean more
Uh,
if they were to like make it at least relevant to what the text is saying on their articles and stuff.
who knows?
Well, I'll let you know if I receive another one. Anyway, I guess the last page looks relatively interesting. Oh, it's advertising a church. I also got some pamphlets just talking about different uh, activities for this location that they're teaching all this stuff from. This apparently is coming straight out of a Bible school or whatever, or a church or something. Oh, a church with a Bible school. My bad. Front Range Bible Institute. Okay, interesting. Fall courses. Wait, what is this? Taught Monday through Thursday, evenings on campus. 22 plus hours of instruction, levels of study and cost. Audit individual, $120. Bachelor of Biblical Studies, $300. I mean, I guess
I
not
went back to
too
that
expensive,
website.
but yeah,
Yeah.
find some gems
I
there,
went
dude.
back. Well, I was gonna say we pretty much finished the entire paper, so I went back to that website. On the thing, if you actually click on the tab that says evolution itself, it brings you to a 404. You actually have to go to the pop-up that it says where bad ideas have bad consequences, and then it actually brings you to the page.
Wait, yeah, I tried that earlier, and it just gave me the 404. I was trying to find it, and I couldn't get it. Does it actually take you anywhere interesting?
Yeah. So this, I don't know if this is an actual paper or not. Yeah, so it starts off with Darwin's The Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection. Darwin's book promotes racism.
Huh?
Okay. Sub, uh, Darwin's book is subtitled The Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle of Life. I mean, yeah, that is an actual thing, but I don't think he's referring to, like, promoting racism. I think he's just trying to get like an idea across here. Darwin's book is clearly racist in its ideology, and its embracing the theory of evolution has infected the entire society of England and far beyond. Morality has been replaced by secular humanism and will be increased lawlessness. Here's the thing: racism has existed way long before Darwin has. So, I mean, if you're saying like this is the thing that infected the world, I don't think that was the case.
What you're saying that Darwin did not invent racism? What the heck? Blasphemous. Didn't he literally like end his whatever by saying like God bless you or something like that? I feel like I heard that fact somewhere. I don't know if it's true or not, but I just find it kind of goofy how they're so anti-Darwin.
No, it is kind of funny. It continues down. Let's not argue about non-essentials. This is the cry of many people, including Christian leaders and pastors all over the world, who think that the evolution slash creation debate is blown way out of proportion. Yeah, it's called they actually have a head on their shoulders.
Wait, sorry, I missed that.
Oh, look, they have a little thing of what's it? The Peanuts cartoon.
Yeah, I thought I just sent a picture of that. It just looked a little strange to me. Also, I wasn't sure what Awana stood for, so I looked it up. Approved Workmen Are Not Ashamed is apparently what it stands for.
Yes, my church actually has that
What is
Awana
that?
group. So it's
It
it's
sounds
like a
very
little
familiar.
it's like a little children's program. So basically, like you have like three little like tiers of like groups. So you have cubbies, which are like your youngish ones, like basically like your toddlers to like first grade. You have sparks, which are I think it's like first grade to like I forget where it goes. I think it's like first grade to middle school. And then TNTers, Truth and Training, which is your middle school to high school, I guess. And it pretty much cuts off at high school.
Hmm. Interesting.
And it's just a program that people do where it's just like you have a bunch of like exercises and like they give out like pins and awards, like you memorize Bible verses. So I mean, it's a good program.
That does sound very familiar. I'm pretty sure I was in that as a kid or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think there's really much else to talk about. The ending was just like the comic, which we agreed was just like definitely super historically accurate and definitely not cheesy at all. But yeah, no, the articles themselves were just kind of wild to look at. Also completely unrelated, but the headline for the story: Are we headed toward World War III? I know toward is technically like still fine, but I prefer towards. It's a totally tangential. I'm just saying I prefer using the word towards as opposed to toward. You got any final thoughts about this?
No, I mean, it just seems like this was written by, or at least whoever these Discovery.global people, or Discovery World, I mean, yeah, you can tell they're very clearly, like, far extreme right, um, in their ideology, and,
No, they seem pretty
I
level-headed,
would
man.
say I would say, like, even for, like, I was gonna say, even for like Christians, like this seems like pretty extreme in a lot of their views and claims that they're making.
Yeah. Also, this just reminded me. I think when we had school projects for designing our own like newspaper or whatever, I kid you not, this is actually like what it looked like. I swear, I could have designed this in the third grade, and it would have probably looked just like
Which
this.
I feel, which I feel like is really bad because it's just like it just gives like Christianity such like a bad name when it's like you have these extreme viewpoints and it's just like there's absolutely no room for negotiation or thinking or like anything. So it's just like you kind of just like have to accept what these like preachers are telling you and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there are a lot of instances where they're trying to expand their credibility by doing very very basic like historical facts and whatnot and references, but they don't usually seem all that relevant. They're kind of just thrown in there a bit half um, half-assed, I guess. Like for example, there was no need to mention the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962, or at least word it that way. There was no need to bring up a quote from 2017 by the FBI director. Um,
Well, there was no citations for any of this. I
yeah,
mean,
no, it's just
Aside from the Bible verses, they're like just throwing in words and they're not even claiming like where they found this information.
yeah, and I feel like if you're going to be making a sort of like outreach newspaper or whatever that's supposed to be like filled with like facts and information, you don't want to be just citing a source that the
Significant.
reader may not actually believe. If you're trying to
It,
convert or whatever, because they are very evangelical and whatnot, when I was just doing a little peeking through the flyers that they were giving. But if that's really how they are, it would make more sense to establish more credibility with um, I don't know, quoting other things than the Bible. If they're gonna quote the Bible to
what?
like kind of line up with the information they're providing, that's one thing. But they're not doing that here. It's just quoting the
Well,
Bible.
they. I mean, I don't think they. I mean, with as anti-science as they are, I don't think they trust the peer review process.
Fair point. Yeah,
So that's probably why they didn't care.
yeah, yeah. That checks out. Also, I just don't like the blanket statements that they'll just like throw in there out of nowhere. Did they mention at any point other than the front page anything about North Korea, Iran, and China? Because they said that those
No.
were the main like attackers other than Russia or aggressors, I guess.
No, they kind of like just started with Russia, nuclear war, and then Babylon,
They just like
which
threw
apparently
that
referred
part in as a
to.
footnote or whatever with those countries. I'm not entirely sure what the takeback is from all of this, other than they disagree with Bible scholars, but they also agree with them. And yeah, USA bad. Yeah,
USA bad and Fire and Brimstone, I guess.
yeah. Also, Comic Sans, best for graphic design, especially in a professional newspaper. Would you even call this like? Are they trying to be professional with this at all, or would you
No,
just say that?
I would say
Yeah.
there was multiple. I mean, we've already said like there was spelling errors. I'm pretty sure this is not professional.
I mean,
It hasn't been proofread.
they were pretty decently proofread, but like I'm pretty sure that's just like a coincidence. There were yeah, like you mentioned, there were some instances of just like misspellings or weird ways of phrasing things, just like as my English teacher would write, she would just write WW, which just stands for weird wording. That would be written all over this, dude. But yeah, whoa, I didn't even see this front page one. Why are they showing an image of a tank blasting at the entire country of Taiwan? What is this? Okay, yeah, that makes
I
sense.
don't know, but that didn't seem entire. I saw that too, but I was just like, this doesn't even seem remotely relevant to anything that's actually worded on the page. So
Wait, isn't Taiwan like in around like China or whatever? What's specific between
Taiwan,
Japan and Philippines? Its jurisdiction. Wait, are those like
Taiwan is not a
supposed to
real
be like
country.
Soviet stars? Is that supposed to be like Soviet
Tai-
weapons attacking Taiwan? That's not Ukraine.
no, don't you? No, don't you know Taiwan is not a real country?
Oh yeah, Taiwan isn't real. You're right. China, another threat to world peace. Okay, hold on, but they're using the hammer and sickle. Is that supposed to be Russia?
That's the Soviet Union, I think, is the hammer and sickle.
Yeah, hold on. Hammer, sickle, and star. That's not how you spell star. Uh, yeah. Let me just look something up real quick. It just says it's for the Communist Party or whatever.
Oh, it's the Communistic Party. Okay.
Okay, so communism is attacking Taiwan. One of the greatest threats to world peace is China's plan to attack and reclaim Taiwan. Okay.
And communism.
What does that have to do with anything? Okay.
I don't know. My
Okay.
my brain has kind of been like rocked for
Yeah,
this entire time.
dude, this thing has just like fried my brain. I don't know, maybe they're onto something. They're definitely spitting facts with this, dude. Biggest
I
takeaway
mean,
is GOG.
if yes, base takeaway is Magog.
Yeah, GOG and Magog. GOG and Magog. Oh, and don't forget God. Yeah, dude. God, GOG, and Magog. Those are the most important takeaways from this. Yeah, well, I'm glad you were able to tune in for this, and thank you, Asmo, for being a nice little guest star in this. It was very fun. Or I guess I'm a guest
Yeah.
star on your. Are you doing this as well?
Huh? Well, no, I'm not gonna actually publish this.
Oh, okay. Well, I will. I hope you're alright with that.
No, I knew that. That's why I wanted to
Okay.
clarify with anyone who's listening. Like, please, if I say something stupid, like, do not feel ashamed to correct me and point it out because I cannot possibly know everything.
Yeah, we may have messed up a couple details here and there, but I think the overall message is that this is a very cheesy sort of newspaper that was totally not wanted. I didn't want this. It just showed up in my mail because of the previous tenant. And so I figured I would just take a peek at it, and I'm glad I did. That was actually pretty fun. I'll let you know if I receive another one. We can review that too if you want to. I leave that at your discretion.
I don't
Um,
know if I really want. I don't know if I really want to because I at the same time whenever I do this, I want to still be respectful. Like I don't
yeah.
want to come off as oh well let's just sit here and completely bash these people.
Oh no no no! I'm not talking about like doing another podcast on this. I'm just saying if I receive one, I'll just like send you a picture or something like that. That way
Oh,
you
okay.
can look at it and just be all like, bro, what are they doing? So
Yeah, I don't know.
but yeah, no, that's all I got. So I guess tune in to the next one whenever that is. It's probably gonna be a while unless I find something else to talk about. If you have any suggestions, you Asmo or anyone listening, if you have any suggestions, let us know. Once again, do make sure to fact check us if we are spitting non-facts. We do want to know. That way we
Spreading
can correct it.
misinformation.
Yeah, we're just casually spreading misinformation. Yeah, it turns out this newspaper article, 100% factual. Everything in it is just like super up there. Credibility wise, it's up there. Um, yeah, that's all I got. Any final words?
Nah, it's getting pretty late, so I think I'll be signing off soon.
All right. Well, yeah. I'll talk to you later, dude.
Yep, see you later.